this is a drawing that I made, and it's Icarus, like kind of like I wanted to do. He probably died, but I wanted to do like since he's flying over the ocean, I wanted to do an image of him like standing up in the ocean and kind of thinking about how he flew too close to the sun. And then I'm gonna make waves right here, and maybe a ship, maybe a bottle, and then have like some images coming around up at the top, and then have the words Led Zeppelin up here. So I was just continuing one of the images that they use. This drawing I had, but I had this from a long time ago when I was practicing drawing angels. It's not finished right here, so I'm going to have to finish it. But I wanted to include it in album cover art as Icarus, like kind of thinking about what he had done flying too close to the sun. So I'm going to start with a regular. I need a regular pencil. Hold on. No. Sorry, I should have like got it all ready, but there we are. Okay, so I want to make some waves down here, and I want to have like images that I associate with their music, which is I want a background scenery, but I want to have images like maybe like flowers, butterflies, birds like coming out of the bottle. So I want to make some waves down here. I don't know how high I'm going to make him. I want to have him on this side. Sorry. I want to have him on this side so there can be room for some images up here. Do I want to cut him off so there's more room for images? That's something I'm asking myself right now. Like, do I want to cut off his wing and have him over here? So there's like more room over here. I'm not quite sure. Or if I don't want to cut off his wing, I could put in another piece of paper. Okay. So I want to leave some room down here for waves. So I'm just sketching right now. This took me a long time, but I did it a long time ago, but it was just like a practice sketch. So I cut it out, and then I want to use it in the album cover design. So I'm going to make some waves. I'm going to have to glue this on, but I'm not quite sure. I'm going to try to do a sketch first and see if I like it, and then glue it on. And I'll continue, if I choose this, I'll continue his shirt, so you'll see his shirt through the waves. I want to make creative waves. I chose this because I really like their music, but I also like their album cover art. I think it's very creative. I'm still in my beginning phases of what I'm going to do, but I told you what my idea was. So it starts with an idea, then maybe a couple of sketches. I'm imagining like he fell in the water, he's sad, but then he's hearing some Led Zeppelin tunes, and that's like making him think and maybe making him be happy again. Okay. So what I want is like, how like people put notes in bottles? I'm thinking of like that, like maybe a bottle right here. Maybe it should be even, hold on. But instead of a note coming out of the bottle, I'm imagining symbols for their music coming out of the bottle, which is kind of surreal. Maybe a little bit over here. This is just the preliminary sketching phase. Then I want to make it like really colorful. You can do yours in color or black and white. It can be realistic or abstract. It can use symbolism. I keep moving this, or surrealism. So this is using maybe symbolism, like symbolizing him falling, symbolizing him thinking, symbolizing him hearing music, possibly surrealism. They're similar. Okay, so now up here, so I want the background to be really colorful. And the things that are coming out of the bottle, they may like come over the image of him. I want to make kind of like maybe like swirls, but things in the swirls. That's representative of music or symbolic of music. And I'm thinking flowers, butterflies, maybe a bird, I'm not sure. Maybe a little boat right here. But I mean, those are just ideas. And then, like, when I'm in the process of drawing or designing, like, I see what I can fit in and what might look good, right? I can't put everything that comes to my mind in here. So I don't want to make it, again, too busy. And I want the words to be, I'm just going to put them in. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. I might stylize them in like that 60s kind of writing, but I'm just going to kind of block them here in here now. Do I like those letters? You can't see them because I'm not pressing hard because I want to move this over. And this is why I'm sorry. I'm not pressing hard because I know I might have to move things. And this is why so many people like using computers, because when you're doing it by hand, let me do it right here. You have to erase to move things. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I like that letter better. Okay, so now you see my idea. I'm going to glue this down and then I'm going to kind of use maybe a marker to ink in some of this. And then I'll come back and do another video. But I just need to get some stuff like in place, like the glue and stuff. So I'm going to, okay, so I did the waves and I put a rainbow down here. And I was thinking I did the bottle and I put some flowers, but I probably want to change the flowers. I put a sun at the top and a butterfly, but I still have a lot of work to do. I was thinking of making him crying and the tears like flowing into the ocean or creating the ocean, whichever way you want to see it. I had some tears here, but I was thinking of just maybe making a trickle going down to the ocean. I'm not quite sure yet. But I thought I'd record some. So this still needs a lot of work. Um, so I made another wave here, like coming up. So maybe this can flow down into here. So I'll start with this wave. And why is he crying? Because he flew too close to the sun. So it's like after he fell down. I have to look up what really happens in the myth. It's just fantasy. Okay. And I need to do a lot on his face in the background, but I thought I'd start recording some here. And some outlining in black I think would look really nice. I'm not really happy with the flowers here. I want to do more, but I'm not quite sure what yet. But it usually happens while I'm working. And his face needs to be more like drawn in and realistic. Okay, let me do this color in the middle. I'm trying not to put, I mean, I know you probably already know this, but I'm trying, excuse me, not to put any two of the same blues next to each other. Although it does, I have to say, let's see if it looks different. Yeah, it looks better here under the light. So this is kind of a purpley blue. So that way they won't be next to each other. So I'm trying to create shapes with the waves, but not put two of the same blues next to each other. But I have lights right here and it looks a little different. Let me try to move them. Yeah, that looks a bit better. It looks a little different when the lights are not on it. And I'm gonna do a lighter blue. Maybe, you know what? I just got this really weird idea and I was like, maybe I should do this part red just to be different. And I think I will. And ideas like that come to you while you're working. So you just start working and then you see what happens. This is kind of a hot pink. And I'm trying to figure out how to outline them. I think I do. I'm kind of scared to put the tears in. Like, I don't know how many I want to put in or if I want to make it too obvious. But you know what? I'm just going to go for it. maybe the tears kind of raining down into the waves. I mean, maybe the tears are totally going to mess it up. I don't know. And that's the problem that happens when you're doing art. But I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. Like, I think maybe it's just too obvious. We'll see. Is that enough, or do I want to have them going all the way down? Let me think on that for a minute. I don't want to overdo it. Okay. I'm gonna outline the waves. I'm kind of like avoiding going into the background because I'm scared that I'm gonna mess it up. I glued this down. He's sticking off a little bit over here, which I may cut off or I may leave. So I'm gonna get the black and do some outlining. And do I like it better with outlines? I'm trying to figure that out, although there's no going back now. Let me kind of take a look at it. Yeah, I like it. It gives it like kind of a more dynamic kind of movement. So the waves are showing what element of design? Movement, or they're supposed to show the illusion of water moving. Again, when you do this, I want you to talk about how it represents the band. You can use images from art history and also what elements of design you're using. So you can use images from art history, or you can use images like I'm using an image that they had on one of their albums, and I'm kind of changing it to give continuity to their album covers. And I mean, this is just a fantasy, but you know, and I'm wanting it to represent their music. And it's sad because he's crying, but I think their music is both happy and sad at certain times. So I'm okay with that. And I'm hoping that the sunny part may be. And I'm probably going to outline his wings as well, just to give it a consistency throughout the design or drawing. The waves are kind of cartoony, and he's a little bit more realistic. So far, I'm happy with it. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to make it too busy. But I want it to be busy at certain points. But I mean, I don't want to totally overdo it. That's something that I have. I usually can have the issue of making something too busy, and that's just my personal um, habit, but everyone else has different habits. Like some people could have the habit of making it too simple. Some people could have the habit of making it too realistic and perfect, right? So you want to see what your habit is and just keep that in mind when you're doing your work. Some people have the habit of making it too messy. Some people have the habit of not thinking about the composition before they start. And what just came into my head, I was thinking of maybe putting the sun right here instead of on top. So that's another thing I have to think about. And that just popped into my head. But if you take your time, you'll get it right for you. Okay, so before I do anything else, I want to kind of outline I want to outline some of him, like his wings, to make it seem like he fits in with the waves, because he's a little bit in a different style, which is fine. You can have things in different styles. I also may enhance the shading on the wings, but that will be a ways away. I don't know if I'm going to outline each strand of his hair. If I do, I need a different marker because this one is too fat. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know what? No, I don't like that outline. I wasn't even looking at it before, but I think that looks really horrible compared to the pencil. So I'm going to can that for right now. Oh, that does look really bad. I'm going to leave that alone for right now. So I think I'm going to get rid of the sun up here. Hold on. Let me see how long I've been doing this video. 13. Okay. We still have some time. And I'm going to get my pencil. What would a sun look like down here? Instead. Like he fell down and the sun fell down too? I have the sun up here. Okay, so I like this much better. So I'm going to get my yellow. I'm going to do stripes in the sun, but I just want to yellow to start. Is this the yellow I want? No. Hold on. Let me find it. That yellow is a bit too dark. There. I'm trying to erase the pencil marks. See how I'm always moving stuff around? Like I'll do one thing and I'll say, well, maybe I could move it. And again, if you're doing something like the sun, you could trace something circular to make it a perfect circle. So now I want to decide. Yeah, I like that. I think that balances it out. I want to decide, do I want to have kind of rays coming out here? So I'm going to put some in, and if I don't like them, I'm going to erase them. I do a lot of erasing, as you can probably tell. Yes, I do. So let me get a red. Kind of goes with the shapes of the waves, or it's a similar kind of shape to them. I'm going to just have it flat here. Okay. So he fell and the sun fell. Or the sun is setting. I haven't decided what color I want his shirt to be. Or his robe. And I know in the picture on the Led Zeppelin album, I don't think he's wearing a shirt, but okay, let's see. I think that looks okay. Now I'm going to outline it. And then that kind of goes with the rainbow below. So, I mean, I've probably, like this probably took me a couple hours. This was, I did a long time ago, but I just cut it out. The waves, I mean, altogether, I've probably now been working on this since I started for a little more than an hour. Doing the design for the background, the waves. Okay. I do want this line to be outlined. The wings, I have to figure out how I'm going to deal with that outline that I made that looks ugly. And this one as well. I probably want to make this gray, this top of his shirt black instead of gray. It's just regular pencil, but I could give him like a shirt, like a band shirt or a Pepsi shirt to give it a pop art feel, but I don't know. That might be a little too much. But yeah, this I think this looks better black. And then I have to figure out what skin tone I want to use. Okay. All right. Okay, so I mean, I didn't really do. I kind of changed the background. I took out the sun, but I took out the butterfly. I had a butterfly here, but I didn't. It was getting too white, like busy, I guess. So I just want to have the flowers. Maybe I'll add stuff after. Um, but let's just try to. I'm gonna try to do just the flowers because I was putting like flowers, butterflies, different kinds of flowers, and it was just too much. I really want to be able to do something really busy, but because some busy designs and artwork is really good, but it seems like when I'm doing it, it just seems like it doesn't fit in with my artwork. So I'm going to have water in the bottle, and I'll just go with the blue. Sorry. I gave him some cheeks, but I need to do his face as well. And I made his cheeks, his lips, and his chin pink. Kind of looks like a girl now, but so right now I'm gonna do the flowers, the bottle, the letters in the name, and perhaps the background. We'll see. So those are two of the same blues next to each other. Oh well, they're separated by a black line. So let me get my pinks. Hold on. So I'm going to do flowers the same color for Unity. I'm going to do this first before I surround it with blue. Repetition and Unity. Rhythm. Just elements of design that I'm using here. And I practice on his wing, so I put some black pencil here so that black line doesn't look so pronounced, and it worked out. So I'm going to fix that as well. Do I want to add a flower up here? That's what I'm asking myself. I don't know. Is this enough flowers? I tried not to make too many. We'll see. Okay, so they're in the center of my flowers, and then I'm doing the same two colors I used here, so a lighter pink and a darker pink. Hey, okay, hold on. There may be some glue on the page, so I don't know how that's going to affect the marker. Okay, so I'm going to do the petals, lighter pink. These are very simple. I had started out making them more complicated, but it was too much. Too much for this design. Like it just, I could feel too much. They need outlining as well. And this is kind of, this marker is kind of running out. So I may have to stop and do something else and come back to it. Or getting dry. That needs like maybe a little tiny one right here. Okay. I also wanted to put, sorry, stripes in this one, like curved stripes of maybe orange. Let me come back to that as well. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I want to do the letters and I want to make them like kind of funky, but not too funky so you can't read them. So let me try. I'm not looking at anything, I'm just kind of imagining. And moving, so you're always moving stuff. I want to give it that like kind of 60, like revamping of Art Nouveau feel. Do I want to make them more funky? I don't know, but let's get these on first. I was thinking of like writing. Sorry, I know I'm going on all sorts of different thoughts, but I was thinking of writing Icarus right here, but maybe not. That might look a little too weird. So I want to make an album cover that I think the band would like, but also that represents your style. I'm going to raise the N up a little bit. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so now I'm going down to, it's less busy. I was expecting this side to be like all really busy, but it's just going to be, it's going to get too rowdy and it's going to take away from the image of Icarus. Okay, so now what am I going to do? I am going to finish this water in the bottle. See where it's lighter? That's where the glue is. And I was also thinking of maybe as another rhythm, polyrhythm, having bubbles like in here in the waves and coming out of the bottle, but I'm not sure yet. So just one thing at a time. Okay, so now let me see the sun for a second. I wanted to make kind of circles just to make it more interesting, to imitate kind of the waves. And of course, this is not realistic. And also imitate the curves in the rainbow. I'm just looking at different oranges and yellow oranges that I have. Those two kind of look the same. And I just want to darken this red orange because you can't tell the difference. Okay, now I'm gonna go for a yellow orange. That's red orange, regular orange. Now I'm gonna go yellow orange. Whoops, I made that too long. Okay, and that kind of looks the same as the regular orange. So let me mix a little red orange into here to try to differentiate. And then let me get something of a more yellow orange. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. Or maybe I should do red in the middle. I'm just thinking, let me leave it for now. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just seeing how long this is. Whoops. So ideas will come and go. As you can see, the ideas just come through me all the time, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out what to do with them. And I choose like one or two, see if they work, and then keep going. I'm going to outline the flowers. And I'm going to make these curves that I have here coming out of the bottle. Or some of them I may change one, but I probably want to try it out in pencil first. Okay, so question. What color do I want the background? Or do I want it a lot of different colors? Let me outline the flowers first. And what color do I want his shirt to be? For some reason, the same pink in his cheeks is what's calling to me. Meaning it's just what I feel should be there. I guess my intuition. Or the same pink in the outer petals. Do those have too much black in them? I'm not sure. Maybe. So I'm going to get my pink and put it on in his shirt. The pink that's kind of running out. Oops, that black is running into the marker or bleeding. Oops. Let me try the other side. This is really running out, so let's try it again. Okay, so that needs another layer, but I need to wait for kind of get more juice in it. So I'm actually gonna work on the colors in the background and maybe working on his face, and then I'm gonna come back and see if I need to add anything. Okay, so there's Led Zeppelin. I colored in the kind of the swirl areas. I tried to hold on, let me hide this. I used green over here because there's like no green. And then I tried to put red, orange here and here. It's a complement of blue, same with the sun. I colored in some of his feathers I had left white. I outlined in black. I colored the hair yellow. I colored the skin. I outlined the hair and the wings after shading. So I shaded dark on the edge so it wouldn't look so weird when I outlined it. It still needs more work, but I'm just thinking of things that I might want to add. And I have the star, and I was thinking of, yes, perhaps putting that in the wing, and I like it. So let me get this off. It's just a sticker. I get a lot of these things from Target, and I keep them. And it's not coming off. Hold on. Let me try it again. There it goes. I just store Target. Sometimes I find a lot of bottle caps on the street that I keep, but that, like, it's an angel. It goes with the color. So I'm going to put that star there. Hold on. I'm getting another one for the wing. And just a couple more things I want to change. I wanted to show you. It took me a long time to do that. I'm going to say maybe an hour or two. And it could use more things, but like refining. There we go. Okay. So now I have these too. And I was thinking, these are also from Target. I was thinking of putting these in the water and maybe on top. They're kind of like the flowers, but they're in a collage form. Maybe, because I'm thinking about it. Just want to show you. But definitely some in the water. I think that would look pretty nice. So let me think about that. The stars were just a definite yes. And the few things I see that I definitely want to change right away. So when I look at the bottom, I'm feeling that I want to add some black to the bottom. I feel like that would just help it, like the ichor, like sitting in the ocean, but I feel like there should be black on the bottom. So just let me see how it looks. I feel like it'll make the waves stand out and make him look like he's rising from the waves. And that may need a little bit more shading. I'm going to do black right here. He kind of looks like a girl, but okay. So now here as well. And I'll probably go in there and blend with some colored pencil. Yep, I'm going to do it here as well. I mean, that would have to be blended. I'm going to do it above the cloud so the cloud stands out. And what about over here? That needs to be blended. I already said that, but just so you know. I'm just showing you like my final finishing touches and what I've done. Yes, I'm going to do it here as well. And here. And do I want it right here? I mean, it's kind of creating a nice contrast. Do I want it here or to leave that as a contrasting it? Let me try a little bit of pencil to kind of see what it looks like if it's blended. I want to blend it into the color above, not just look like a big chunk of black, right? Oh, I like that. That looks good. Again, I didn't know if that was going to look bad or good. Sorry, I kind of have a cold or an allergy. And I think putting it right here is going to add to some contrast. I'll just probably do these two. I'll leave the pink alone. And the face needs work as well. Just a couple more things I wanted to work on. I was going to add some, I was thinking of the flowers, but I'm also kind of maybe thinking of some rhinestone stickers that I have. That might make it look really cool. Okay. And what about the water here? Do I want dark down here? Probably, but let me leave that for later. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I wanted to add the tears going all the way down. Hold on. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. And I don't know if this is going to help it or make it look worse. Just have to kind of work with it and see where it goes. A lot of times people do like a lot of different sketches to get started. And I'm looking for a darker, hold on. See what, no, that's too orange. A darker skin tone. Maybe a brown or maybe a purple. Let's see how this brown looks. Let's try a brown. To put some shading on the face. Now I'm just doing this out of my head. Originally, I was looking at a picture, but that was a long time ago, and I don't have the picture anymore. Or I don't even know where I put the picture I was looking at. But I want some shading on the face to give volume. I need to work on the nostrils. Hold on. 1 second. I tried to make the person kind of tan. I mean, I'm just kind of imagining shading, and this is thick. Give me 1 second. Let me find my black. So it needs a nostril, but I don't want to mess. Hopefully I didn't mess that up too much. Okay, if you can wait 1 second, I feel like the rhinestones are to it, so I'm going to show you what I mean. So sorry about that. I just have these, and I think these are smaller and nicer. More, they're going to help more than the flowers. So let's see. Let's test one out. Yeah, it just reminds me of their music. It's kind of I sometimes when I use things like these, they're stickers and they're also probably from Target. I put them with colors that they are similar to. So kind of, adds to the texture. It creates texture. Creates collage and it creates color. Uh, Dialogues between similar colors. Okay. So I could do a lot of these or a little of these, but this is what I wanted to add. Let's come down here for a minute. I want to put some down here, like two. And then that's also creating another kind of unity type of thing. I'm going to put some in the ocean. I mean, you can see how many I could put in here or how few. I mean, but just to give you an idea, I'm going to use some green ones in the ocean since I have like blue purples in the ocean, but ocean is blue green. And like you could fill a whole thing up with them. I mean, again, there's many different things you can do. Okay. So I'm one more thing, and thank you for your patience. I'm just looking for my black. So I wanted to go here. I feel like this bottle should be darker at the bottom and kind of get lighter at the top, just as another form of contrast. And I could work on this again for another couple of hours, but I mean, now it's about 4 hours, counting the drawing that I did to start it. Okay. And then I want to put black right here as well. And I'm kind of seeing, well, do some just in the colored pencil and then some with marker and colored pencil. How does that create another form of variation, right? But I would like to, just so you can see what I would add. I'm happy with it. I mean, it could use some work. I don't know if I'm happy with this area, but it's still okay. But I've probably put a lot more rhinestones down here. But you get the idea. I'm going to stop it here. Hold on.